It's incredible.
I said it multiple times. We're like the Bulls, and he's Michael Jordan.
Shohei Ohtani, we've said it before, he's a unicorn.
Ask any MLB player, in private and off the record, to tell you what Shohei Ohtani truly means to this era of baseball, and the response usually starts with a long pause. Some actually smile, not sure if you're serious, because for most, Ohtani is at once an untouchable legend, a source of nightly amazement, and the reason why everything about Major League Baseball feels so different now. The awe starts with numbers, two-way stat lines, home runs that defy gravity, strikeouts with movement few can dream of, but the story goes so much further. Across North America's clubhouses, Ohtani inspires an odd cocktail of reverence and envy. He's Michael Jordan, but in two positions. Mookie Betts tells a group of reporters with a laugh, side-eyeing the crowd of international press that trails Shohei from city to city. CC Sabathia once shook his head, built like a Greek god, does things we haven't seen, and then he just disappears into his own world. Pitchers trade tips on attacking Ohtani, knowing they'll probably still get burned. Hitters plan around the nights they face his slider and splitty, hoping their own pitchers can keep up. Nobody's routine feels normal when Ohtani arrives in town. For the Dodgers, the arrival of Ohtani has been a once-in-a-generation shockwave, an energy shift you could feel in the very first days of spring training. Freddie Freeman, considered as even-keeled as any leader, didn't shy away from calling it what it was: celebrity mania. Reporters and autograph hunters packed the locker rooms every morning, often ignoring the rest of the roster. Some veterans, used to quiet routines, ducked out, leaving early just to escape the spotlight. Young players, usually hoping for a fleeting moment of attention, quickly realized that sharing space with Ohtani meant getting used to being background noise, at least when dozens of cameras turned and chattered in Japanese, Korean, and Spanish at once. Freeman himself has openly told more than one story that gets at the core of who Ohtani is: not only a mythical athlete, but a surprisingly thoughtful teammate. After introducing his son Charlie to Shohei at the 2022 All-Star Game, Freeman thought nothing of it until, a year and a half later, Ohtani approached him at Dodger Stadium and asked, "Where's Charlie?" Now, whenever he sees Shohei, that's the first thing Ohtani asks. For Freeman and others, it's a reminder that Ohtani isn't just polite, he's paying deep attention to the people around him, even when his own life is a media maelstrom. But the clubhouse dynamic is complicated, sometimes bordering on tense. With a once-in-a-century star comes a once-in-a-century imbalance. More than one Dodger, privately, has admitted that the locker room's energy now belongs to Shohei. One All-Star called it Ohtani fatigue. Not everyone loves answering for Shohei's actions, especially during the days when he speaks only through his interpreter, and the baseball world seems less interested in other MVP candidates. Players like Jason Hayward act as culture carriers, helping new guys like Ohtani adjust while also bridging the awkwardness for those who spend much of their season in relative anonymity. Still, Ohtani's likability goes a long way. Even those who sometimes grumble about the circus say it's different from when Barry Bonds held court for the Giants, dividing teammates with force of personality. Ohtani doesn't strut or demand, he laughs at his mistakes, cracks jokes about language mix-ups, and joins in clubhouse chat groups. Teoscar Hernandez once said Ohtani was the first to walk over and talk bats and swing weight when Hernandez joined the Dodgers, referencing their All-Star Game collision years earlier. "The smile," Teoscar said, "makes it easy even if he crushed me last series." Away from the press, insiders say Ohtani is a paradox, the ultimate showman who treasures invisibility. He's known as an epic sleeper. Teammates claim he can rack up a dozen hours before a night game, snoozing through rain delays with the calm of someone completely at peace. During one marathon 18-inning World Series game, Ohtani went 4 for 4 with 2 homers, 5 walks, and a handful of new records. By the end, as cameras clamored and the press lined up for post-game comments, Ohtani's answer was simple: "I want to go to sleep as soon as possible so I can get ready." There's no grandstanding, just the reset switch of the world's best player. On the field, his play forces every tradition in baseball to adapt. The MLB literally had to invent new rules just to handle a player who hits cleanup and also closes games. Dusty Baker, one of the most respected managers in MLB history, simply shrugged. He changed the rules. Anybody who changes the rules is special. Rival players, those who might secretly bristle at Ohtani's spotlight, find themselves applauding anyway. Aaron Judge, usually reserved, conceded he's one of the best players for a reason. What you see is real. Alongside all the stat sheets and highlight videos, there's a not-so-quiet conversation running through the league about what it means for one player to gather so much gravity. Some veterans have openly voiced concern. Is it good for the game? Should the MVP always go to the guy who does both, even if a traditional slugger or ace is having a career year? Managers admit, off the record, that keeping their own rosters motivated next to that level of attention is a new challenge. Sometimes outright envy leaks out, especially when discussing MVP races. He isn't just like everyone else, said one rival manager after Ohtani won the NL MVP again in 2025 with a groundbreaking 50-50 season, crushing over 50 home runs and swiping 50 bases, a feat nobody even theorized about before 2023. Even Ohtani's skeptics, though, had to respect the 9 times on base game he put up against the Blue Jays in this year's World Series, setting a postseason record and dragging his team across the finish line. No one would say it publicly, but a few stars are a little bitter. Anonymous quotes about Ohtani making marketing decisions for MLB or sucking up all the air rattle around the intra-team rumor mill, especially at All-Star Weekend or winter meetings. League officials, meanwhile, bank on Ohtani's box office appeal, knowing even a little clubhouse turbulence is worth it for global headlines. Yet the most intense off-field saga came in the form of a media and legal hurricane, the gambling scandal involving Ohtani's longtime interpreter, Issei Mizuhara. For over a decade, Mizuhara served as not just Shohei's voice to the world, but his confidant, manager, and day-to-day handler. That relationship abruptly dissolved when allegations surfaced that Mizuhara embezzled millions to pay for illicit bets, and Ohtani himself denied knowing anything about the scheme. Inside the clubhouse, tension was palpable. Dodgers teammates clammed up, preferring not to comment except through official channels. Veteran Alex Vizia famously told reporters, "It's none of my business." Most players believed Ohtani. If anything, they speculated about how someone so quiet, so obsessed with routine, might be the last person to notice financial mischief under his nose. What was fascinating, though, was the sharp contrast in coverage between the U.S. and Japan. In America, legal experts and columnists openly questioned how Mizuhara accessed Ohtani's accounts, how close Shohei and his interpreter really were, and even whether MLB should investigate player money management. In Japan, a country where betting scandals have ruined the careers of legends, media and fans largely viewed Ohtani as a blameless victim, their Kanpeki na Hito, perfect person, whose politeness and work ethic put him beyond reproach. Japanese society, deeply averse to gambling, made the saga a national obsession, wall-to-wall coverage more intense than a presidential election, and almost universally supportive of Shohei's innocence. The global nature of Shohei's career makes every controversy go international. He's not just an MLB icon. He's a cultural ambassador, his face on murals in Little Tokyo, his name in headlines in Tokyo and Los Angeles, his jersey a status symbol from Hokkaido to Hollywood. As one Japanese reporter explained, Shohei was the top news every day, even before the scandal. Now it's like nothing else matters. While MLB's off-field soap opera rolled on, the on-field moments that define Ohtani's legend just kept coming, as did the fan moments and memes. The now legendary night when Justin Bieber, sitting behind home plate, dramatically gave a thumbs down after Ohtani's World Series home run, dominated social feeds and late-night sports shows. Shohei really out here ruining celebrity nights, one tweet joked, echoing a sentiment that started as a meme and became locker room banter. Through it all, Ohtani met public trolling with good humor. When Toronto fans chanted, "We don't need you," through entire at-bats, Shohei later told reporters, "That was a great chant. My wife loved it." Teammates noticed this resilience, how Ohtani could internalize a stadium's noise and twist it into an inside joke, keeping the focus on baseball and not the circus around him. Sometimes, being a superstar means absorbing resentment that has nothing to do with talent. At times, opposing pitchers openly work around Ohtani, intentionally walking him, then celebrating outs against the weaker links in the lineup. Fans and broadcasters alike have called these moves signs of fear or disrespect, but Shohei never bites. He keeps his answers short, his focus on the next at-bat. What truly endears Shohei to his peers, maybe even more than his on-field feats, is his humility and kindness. Stories of small gestures abound. After meeting a teammate's child once, he never forgets the name. He's quick to joke about wearing the wrong cap at camp, or playfully chide a rookie for showing up late. Teammates say he's the first to shake hands, ask about family, and join group texts, even if the language barrier means he mostly listens and reacts with emojis. Despite the overwhelming celebrity, Ohtani is, in many ways, a quiet part of the team. There are no stories of partying until dawn or holding court at LA nightclubs. He's known for family dinners, not for drama. Even his marriage was a private affair, discovered by most of the organization via social media. When not hitting or pitching, the epic sleeper label comes back again and again. Naps, rest, and careful self-care are his secret weapon. One story that illustrates his impact on teammates comes from the volatile postseason locker rooms. Following a long, grueling victory, as media and fans celebrated or dissected every play, Ohtani's only concern was his teammates' energy. "He keeps us going," Hernandez said. It's not just words, he's really out there, leading by example, staying calm. It's not lost on anyone that Ohtani's greatest trick might be surviving the weight of history with his joy intact. Greg Maddux, who played with and against some of the greatest to ever step on a diamond, once mused, "He reminds you of Nolan Ryan than Barry Bonds." You start to realize maybe he's both. Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager, is more succinct. He wants to be just another guy. That's not possible, but he tries. If Ohtani sometimes seems above it all, it's because he has to be. His brand power, his impact on international tourism, even the city's mural scene, all revolve around Shohei being more than just an athlete. And for every veteran who feels insecure about the endless waves of attention, there are as many rookies who feel inspired, burning to add their story to the legend. Night after night, Ohtani's performances bend the game's future. Whether it's bombing 3 home runs in an NLCS game, going 9 for 9 inches a World Series marathon, or quietly helping rookies adjust to a new culture, everything Ohtani does gets written into the annals of baseball's most unforgettable moments. As much as people talk about envy, respect, fatigue, or inspiration, there's something universal about the way Ohtani's presence bridges gaps between teammates, between fans and players, between continents. Some in MLB might whisper about marketing, others might roll their eyes at endless Shohei headlines, but not a single player wants to miss the chance to say someday that they shared the field and the dugout with this once-in-a-lifetime star. What will the next chapter hold? More drama, more records, more speculation about what's truly possible for one athlete to achieve? If baseball teaches anything, it's to expect the unexpected. Shohei Ohtani has already changed the sport forever. And as his teammates, rivals, and the entire baseball world continue to react, one thing is certain: whatever players say behind closed doors, admiration, awe, or even a touch of jealousy, they know they are living inside one of the game's greatest stories.